Hi, I'd just like to share with you what's in Fish Vetting Essentials. It's essentially a book that vets would need to have in their veterinary clinics and on their bookshelves for instant looking at. It's thick enough or thin enough that you can actually read it from cover to cover, but I'd just like to show you some of the highlights to familiarize yourself with the book so that you know where to look when you need the information. First section talks to you about the anatomy of the fish to show that they're actually not very different from other animals in terms of the organs that they have. Next section tells you how do you identify different fish species based on their shape, and also it tells you about the common diseases that they get. Next section is to do with water quality, ammonia, nitrite, nitrate, pH, all those jargon, and also tells you about all the different drugs that may affect the biofilter or affect water quality. And at the end of that section, it's got a little bit about different water parameters for different species or groups of species. And in the next section here, we've got all the clinical aspects of fish vetting, starting from the history to how to take skin scrapes, gill biopsies, taking blood samples and things like that. The next section is a fairly big section, chunky bit. It talks about all the fish diseases, and I've laid it out so that it starts from the smallest pathogen to the largest pathogen. So we've got a lot of pictures here so that you can try and recognize the disease based on gross clinical signs, history, cytology, and also on histopath. So that's a really good section there. I guess the most useful section to most vets is the medical corner. I've simplified it in such a way that as long as you know the broad category that the fish disease is in, so for example if it's an external flagellate, how you treat it, or if you think it's an external bacterial infection, how you treat it. So that's how I've organized this treatment side. And the last section I'd like to share with you is to do with the breeding fish using hormonal induction. So I've got little pictures and diagrams, paragraphs about how to use that. And very handy is the index at the back. Every good book should have an index so that you can actually go through particular topics that you're most interested in and look that up. So there you have it, Fish Vetting Essentials in a snapshot.